Now at 4, Fort Smith has installed 2 new right turn signs on Rogers Avenue and 66th Street in what officials say is another effort to make transportation in the city much safer. Fort Smith PD says the signs were installed at the busy junction last week, effective immediately. Police are now enforcing compliance with the new traffic directive. Police Chief Danny Baker says data showed that left turns at this location significantly increased crash risk. The department says last year there were 11 crashes at this location alone.
It's already on the surface, it's a pretty risky spot to attempt something like that. So we just wanted the streets department, we got with them and they were very helpful in getting that signage up to try and make that more obvious to motorists that don't try that.
At 5 and 6, we'll have more on additional measures Fort Smith is taking to improve vehicle and pedestrian safety in the city. We now have more information for those wishing to celebrate the life of Bentonville High School principal Jack Lloyd. Lloyd passed away late last week due to an undisclosed illness. A celebration of life service has been since announced. If you'd like to pay your respects and honor Lloyd's legacy, you are invited to attend Arend Arts Center on April 1st. The service starts at 6 p.m. New at 4, education opportunities are reaching new heights for the University of Arkansas Fort Smith. The school just announced the tuition and mandatory fee guarantee. This school says this is a scholarship program that will get rid of financial barriers students face after exhausting all grants. The director of admissions says this effort will empower students by giving them a pathway to an affordable education. The university says Arkansas residents who receive federal Pell Grants will automatically be considered. Well, President Trump is planning a 25% tariff on any country that buys oil and gas from Venezuela. This is on the heels of more deportations directly to Venezuela on Sunday night. Today, Trump held a cabinet meeting where he praised efforts against illegal immigration. During that meeting, he also talked about the massive job cuts within the federal government amid his appeal against a court order demanding demanding the administration rehire thousands of laid-off workers.
Country was riddled with fat, like no country probably anywhere in the world, and we're getting rid of the fat.
More federal cuts are expected. The Department of Homeland Security is now saying the government is going to eliminate FEMA. In southern Gaza, the area's largest hospital is still functioning after being hit during an Israeli strike. The Israeli military confirms the hospital was the target. They were trying to target a senior Hamas leader who was at the hospital. A Hamas official says he was assassinated during the attack along with another one of its top members. This attack is after the end of a ceasefire that lasted nearly 2 months. Pope Francis is resting at the Vatican for the first time since being hospitalized for double pneumonia more than a month ago. On Sunday, 88-year-old Francis appeared weak as he spoke from the balcony of the hospital shortly after being discharged. Chris Livesay has more from Rome.
It was a long-awaited hello. What became the longest hospital stay in Francis's papacy could very well have ended in goodbye. Thank you to everyone, the Pope said with a frail voice, then found time to compliment a woman with yellow flowers. It was the first time the public had laid eyes on the Pope in the flesh in more than 5 weeks.
It's a moment we didn't know if we would ever see.
Absolutely, yes. We were not sure about this, in which way it will go, but it seems that God listens to the prayers of the whole church.
Pope Francis may be coming out of the hospital, but he is not out of the woods. Doctors say he'll still need 2 months to recover, and he's going to have to avoid large crowds like this one. That is a big ask for the people's Pope.
Francis made his hard-won exit in a trademark low-key papal white Fiat, waving from the window. We could see nasal tubes for the oxygen therapy he continues to receive, a reminder of how serious his condition remains. For weeks, the faithful gathered every night in St. Peter's Square to pray the rosary. Now, both his voice and his body reflect the toll of double pneumonia, but his spirit, his doctor said, remains unscathed.
Pope Francis's doctors also said he nearly died on 2 separate occasions in the hospital. Remember, we, just like everyone here, were preparing for a possible papal funeral. But today, Pope Francis is stable and he is finally back home. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.